Appointment as head of department. Shortly after my recall, I was appointed the head of department of economics. I resolved to improve peace and industrial harmony, also to raise the department to enviable heights, amongst others. Here again, friends surfaced. I changed the department, brought peace. We graduated more than 25 master's degree students abandoned for no fault of theirs. PhDs were graduated, a good number on the list, on the staff list now. New staff were engaged. We acquired 35 pieces of computers, 60 kVA soundproof generator, which is still here now, that is still serving. And also planted trees, all these trees you see here, planted trees around the department. I created a loan, and donation of more came. I received donations of books worth 3 million naira from Fidelity Bank, and many more. All this happened within 24 months. We established lecture series and mounted honors roll. I bought the departmental Sienna bus that is being used in now. I took the department to Nigerian Economic Society and Nigerian Association for Energy Economics. I brought trainers to train my postgraduate students and lecturers in the starter. Appointment as Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences. Now, as the Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences, which have been served out, we have made tremendous contribution that no past dean can claim. The much that our past deans were able to do was to build those Awka building, buy sample generators, build the students' podium, and interlock on the faculty arena with the existing faculty money when our faculty had money. In my tenure as the dean of the faculty, within 12 months, because ASU strike took our 8 months away, we brought in projects worth billions of naira, just like that. In the first year of my teaching, I spoke to a chief, Chief Ben Biojelibo, to consider building a center for hosting sick lectures. This he accepted, and today, work is going on in the complex. We spoke to a businessman from Adazian, Chief Ben Nwogwugwu, with Chile Nandas, on the need to immortalize his parents. In the university, he bought the idea, and today, a 500 capacity modern auditorium is going on in the university. We also spoke to Chief Emenike, the CEO of Kotech, and Tommy Models, on the need to show presence in the university. And today, a 20-office building, one-story building going on at the University Medical School, Nnewi. This is not all. At the early months of my administration, Gratitude Trust chose my faculty among the 5 in the country to mount permanent seats for staff and students' realization. The seats are still there in front of my faculty. We tried our hands on farming, fish pond, crops, vegetables, to raise money for the faculty administration. We did it in the first year. The second year, we could not because of ASU strike. We didn't got support from former Honorable Commissioner of Education, Keto Manoga, that enabled me to take off. We are still trying to attract good things from good people for public use. In all things, I have the strong faith that despite blackmails and tells people bear about me, at the end, the truth is revealed that I am not of those blackmails. I can really be trusted. I have integrity. George William Friedrich Hegel, 1770 to 1831, one of the most important figures in German idealism, and one of the founding figures of modern Western philosophy. This said, and I paraphrase, God is all wise. He lets men do as they please with their particular passion and interest. But the result is the accomplishment of not theirs, not their plans, but His. That is God's own, and those that differ decidedly from the ends, primarily sought by those who He employed. These are just this time. I think I've not bothered you so much. Let's go into the lecture. I won't spend much of the time the lecture proper. Okay. Yeah, the lecture is energy security framework for Nigerian economy in the presence of threats. The presentation is the presentation outline. It's in about 8 subs: introduction, energy essence, background is energy security, conceptual definitions, and all that. And I expect that good. Now, the introduction. I'm introducing energy. Human sociocultural development, their distinctions and detachment from other animals have been made possible by the exploitation of energy source. With ability to convert an energy source, mankind were able to gain more control of their living conditions. Fire enabled them to live in a cooler habitats, expand their food base, and provide some protection against other animals. Humans found no substitute for energy, unlike other sources of the earth, and other resources of the earth. No complementarity. There is no method of creating the energy. Every source came from sun, non-reliable, non-renewable, renewable. This underscored the need to use energy available in a self-efficient and prudent manner. Society requires energy for production of goods and services. Individual consumers depend upon it to heat and or cool homes and cook food. People use it to transport themselves and products to destinations. Scientific and intellectual observations on the characteristic of energy over eons of time led to the codification of energy law. The first energy law, called the law of energy conservation or thermodynamic law, states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. That is, total energy is constant within a closed system. The energy within a gallon of petrol is transformed by combustion to thermal heat, thermal energy, to mechanical by a piston tap engine. The remainder of the thermal energy is unusable because of the inefficiency of engine and the breakdown of the first law. No. No. Yeah, sure. The second law now states that a natural process always takes place in such a direction as to cause an increase in entropy. And entropy is randomness of the universe. Entropy is a measure of the unavailable energy in a closed system, and thus a measure of the degree of disorder of a particular energy form. Thus, every time energy is converted from one form to another, some energy moves to a more random or less concentrated state, depending on the efficiency or conversion technology. Research on thermodynamics law show that the law has extended to third, fourth, and even fifth laws, each considering some magnification of uh, uh, temperature and crystallization. The third law says a perfect crystal at 0 Kelvin has 0 entropy, which is temperature dependent. Energy security, simply put, is the desire to ensure that when we flip that light switch, the light will always come on. Strong economies build on secure and available energy supply. But Nigeria had the lowest access to electricity globally, with 92 million persons out of 200 million people lacking access to energy. India had declared that access to electricity is a legal right to enable businesses or to enable business growth and good life in the nation. UNCTAD in 2019 calculates that more than half of the people living in LDC, less developed countries, which is equivalent to 570 million people, or about a third of the world population, lack access to electricity. There are over 1 billion people the world over with no access to grid power, only depending on self-generating sets or other non-modern means. Non-renewable energy source currently drives global economy. Most renewable energy sources, such as solar, wind, etc., are either not constant and consistent, not predictable, and not dispatchable. This means that we cannot assume that the non-renewable energies are going to be there when we need them, and cannot be relied upon to form the basis of secure energy system. Hospitals, schools, industries, etc. need reliable power at all times. Until significant investments are made in batteries to enhance energy storage, renewable energies cannot supply base load to fully modern economy. Hence, Fatih Barrow, the executive director of International Energy Agency, stated that renewable energy systems are causing a static change in the energy market. We need to be facilitated to ensure security of other energy supply. Now, conceptual definitions. Energy security. What does it mean? It means energy supply reliability, energy price acceptability, energy system resilience to disruptions and threats. It also concerns itself with low vulnerability of vital energy system. Energy security, again, is about electricity security. The energy security of oil used to power the economy, and the energy for transport, land, sea, and air. Energy system comprise security, equity, and environmental sustainability. These are changing in complex and non-linear, unpredictable ways. Energy production, use, and trade are also changing. Now let's look at energy vulnerability. This is the propensity of an individual to become incapable of securing a material and socially needed level of service in the home due to the ineffective operation of socio-technical pathways that allow for the fulfillment of household energy needs. The dependence and resilience on the energy system can also be a vulnerability source due to potential effects of disruption or failures. Now, the conceptual definitions and clarifications continue. Numerous factors can make energy system vulnerable, such as vulnerability in infrastructure. Power plants and transmission cables can be damaged or destroyed by natural catastrophes, accidents, or intentional attacks. In areas that depend on single energy source, this might cause disruption in the supply. dependence on foreign source. Many countries import fuel to meet their energy needs, which could expose them to changes in supply or price. Example, in USA in 1970, they had oil embargo. Today, Russia and Ukraine war are causing a lot of problems. What is it? Cyber security risks. As energy system becomes more dependent on digital innovations, they are also vulnerable to cyber attacks, which can interrupt operations and result in power outage. Human aspect. To operate and improve infrastructure, the energy sector also needs skilled staff, which can be impacted by variables such as employee turnover, training issues, and labor shortages and climate change. We have three perspectives or concerns in energy security. These are sovereignty perspective, robustness perspective, and resilience perspective. In sovereignty perspective, it answers the question of who controls a nation's energy, the state's capacity to protect itself from external threats and interventions, which ties itself to national security. Robustness perspective. This answers the question of how long the energy system shall last. This also focuses on the technological aspect of energy system and the ability to withstand and recover from disruptions. Resilience perspective, here the security of an energy supply is determined by how well an energy system can adapt and recover from shocks and disturbances, while minimizing economic and social effects. Also answering the question of when the community, region, or nation faces energy disruptions, how fast can the system respond and recover? Yeah, this diagram there shows actually the three perspectives. And you can see the summary table. You will see under the sovereign robustness and resilience, we have the historical roots, wartime oil supplies, and the 1970s crisis. That's the mistake there. Now, under robustness, light technological accidents, electrical blackout concerns about scarcity, and resilience is liberalization of energy system. The risk for energy system, intentional action by malevolent agents, predictable natural and technical factors, diverse and practical unpredictable factors, then primary protection mechanism, control over energy systems, institutional arrangement preventing disruptive actions, upgrading infrastructure and switching to more abundant resources, increasing the ability to withstand and recover from various disruptions. Yes, in economics, you cannot say anything without talking about theory. Economic theory of supply captures energy security, which is determined by the equilibrium between energy supply, and energy demand, given the benefits and costs of various energy sources and the production methods. These economic variables impact functionally on energy security, price volatility, supply and demand dynamics, geopolitical conflicts, and market speculation determines energy affordability, which in turn is affected by price volatility caused by shifts in the cost of energy sources. Energy cost. Cost of energy production and supply, such as capital expenditure, fuel cost, and operating expenditure, can have definite impact on energy prices and economic viability of different energy sources. Energy efficiency. Improving energy efficiency can contribute to a decrease in global energy consumption, which can lead to cheaper costs and greater energy security, because the more inefficient energy is, the more it is wasted. Energy source diversification. Diversifying your energy source will make the system more resilient and less dependent on any one source. Market structure. The ownership, regulation, and degree of competition can have an impact on the affordability and efficiency of energy. Cartels in market share and production allocation are part of it. So here we can now summarize that energy security is equal to energy supply and equal to energy demand. And all these things we'll talk about here. Just stated what was said. Now, comparative energy security assessment. We'll talk about how is it in other countries as we are suffering some profit here. So we say to evaluate the effectiveness of current energy security framework, we use case studies of the BRICS and the means that they define and prioritize risks, threats, and disruption. BRICS is those countries called Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Mint is Mexico, India, I think, no? Yeah. What is it? So, Brazil has a considerable domestic energy supply, abundant oil, natural gas, hydropower source. She is a large producer of biofuels, ethanol from sugarcane, increased share of renewables, diversifies energy supply, reduce dependency on fossil fuel, but still has issues with dependable, accessible electricity in rural areas and disruption due to natural causes. Russia is a key energy producer, world's largest proven natural gas reserve, and second largest proven oil reserve. Russia has nuclear, hydroelectric, and renewable energy. Russia has sophisticated energy infrastructure, but it has challenges with energy efficiency and environmental effects of energy output, and its war on Ukraine and related sanctions. India depends on coal technology, makes some efforts to support energy efficiency and use